Hey, how are you?
I'm well. And yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're so excited.
So am I. I haven't done a lot of these lives, so this is like a whole experience for me.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Black Cinema Now, honey. We're just going to have some fun. We like to keep it very laid back and chill. So let's get into a few questions that we have for you tonight. And again, I can't thank you enough for joining us. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So Cherie, I know that with you have been in the industry for, as long as you've been in it, since you were a little girl, you've probably been asked a million times, so how did you get your start in the industry? So as opposed to asking you how did you get your start, I would love to know, when did you realize you were passionate about acting? Or when did your parents even realize that, okay, Cherie's passionate about this, she's not letting up. So when did that begin to happen for you?
If you want to know the truth, the passion probably didn't come in until after Family Matters. Because I was really just working, doing something that I loved doing. I was enjoying it. It was a hobby, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a job.
Mm-hmm.
Until Family Matters ended and I was in my mid-20s. And then I had to decide, what do? Do you go back and go to college?
Yeah.
Do you get a normal job, or do you go back to auditioning? And I almost spent a year kind of soul searching, trying to figure out, I always wanted to be an architect, but I never liked school. So I was like, do I go back and go to college and become that architect that I thought I was going to? Or do I continue at that point, I believe it had been 26 years of my career, right, in acting. And I called my agent. It took a year almost. From like January, and in November, I called my agent and I said, I think I'm ready to start auditioning again. And she was like, okay. They sent me out and I got a job on the Parkers.
Look at that.
And yes, and that's when I realized this is where I'm supposed to be and exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Awesome. And that's a great testament to realizing that, you can find out that you're passionate about something maybe years later, realize that, what, I really love this. And sometimes once that thing is missing from your life for a period of time, you realize, what, I loved doing that. I was passionate about that. So I think it's cool that was able to come back around for you.
Yeah, it took a while because, first of all, I had always had a job from the time I was 6 to 26. I was on TV shows and I had to work every day. So I didn't know what to do with myself. It was like, you have time off. Okay, I went on vacation twice. What do I do now? I went shopping like every day. I discovered the dollar store, which was cool at first, but now I'm not saving any money anymore because everything costs.
Girl, that's my stove.
It's mine too. But I didn't know what it was when I was working because I was always on set. So, I was discovering like just going grocery shopping for myself. And then after a year, I was like, okay, I'm bored. I need to go to work, or I need to go to school. I need to do something.
Yeah.
And then I realized my something was being on the set and acting.
Look at that. Look at God.
Right?
Well, that is so awesome, Cherie.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of you working or being in the industry from the age of 6, what would you say is your favorite childhood TV moment? I know that I have mine of yours, but do you have a special memory of growing up on TV, or a special memory that you love to kind of talk about or think about from just your past experience growing up on television?
It's definitely Punky Brewster.
Yeah.
The whole process was just amazing, and it's a miracle that we get to go back together and do it all over again. Thank you. My favorite episode is the anniversary show, and where I got to cry because it was the first time I got to do something different. Everybody thinks of, the girl from TV and it's always funny, but it was a chance for me to exercise my muscle per se and do something that people had never seen me do. And that was something that was a little bit more serious. Plus, my uncle paid me $20 if I cried hard. So,
is that a fact?
That was my motivation. $20, and then I got to go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee and some jelly bracelets.
Wow. That is awesome.
I was a kid.
Look, baby girl, you're going to do this scene. You're going to take this $20. I love it. I love it.
And as soon as I was done, I wiped my little nose, and he was off stage like this.
I love that. Well, Uncle came through because you did a really wonderful job, obviously. You worked hard for that $100.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So, speaking of Punky Brewster, such an iconic show, such a classic. For those folks who are watching and I don't know, somehow may not have heard of Punky Brewster or your character, can you talk a little bit about the show, this iconic show? Can you talk a little bit about what it was about and then what your character brought to the show?
Absolutely. I'm excited because we are going to open up to a whole new audience who's never heard of us. The show is 38 years old. Never in my life or Soleil's life did we imagine that it would grow up kind of being a pop iconic show.
Yeah.
So Punky Brewster is about a little girl who was abandoned in a car by her mother at the grocery store, and basically her journey to survive.
Wow.
She made her first friend after being abandoned, and that was me, Cherie. And I used to sneak her food, and it was part of her survival. And basically it's been her and I for 38 years. We got. So when the show comes back, it's going to be her and I for 38 years. We've gone through this journey together, and everybody who was gracious enough to grow up with us will continue to grow with us as women. And I think people will get an opportunity to see that no matter who you are, as women, all of our lives are synonymous in one way or another.
Wow, that is so special. I cannot wait for this. I was actually going to ask you about the reboot because I heard that there was going to be one. So that's definitely confirmation for us. So that kind of touches a little bit on the premise of the reboot. And that's what I was going to ask about. If you could talk just a little about what we could expect, are we going to see those familiar faces that we, grew up on? Can we anticipate that same feel from before?
Oh, I believe that everybody's going to pick right back up where we left off.
Oh, awesome.
The relationships are the same. The love is real, and the love is the same. So, yeah, absolutely. You'll get that same old punky feeling.
I love that. And we missing it. So I'm loving a lot of these classic shows are kind of coming back. The ones that we grew up on, I'd love to see a reboot of even Family Matters or something like that, with you especially being part of it.
It's so fun. I mean, we hear the fans talk about a reboot of Family Matters, but we don't hear the producers say anything.
We need that. Y'all need to get together. Make that happen for us.
We don't have that authority. We don't own the show. We were hired help.
I understand. Well, maybe if the fans come together and make enough noise, then hopefully the producers will take notice, because we love Family Matters. That's another classic for sure.
Thank you.
So speaking of Family Matters, you played Cherie Johnson. She was so dope. She really was. Can you talk a little bit more about your character Maxine as it relates to Family Matters?
Yeah, Maxine was the around the way girl. She was the straight up home girl who always kept it real, who didn't really have that great home life like her cohort Laura did. Laura grew up in that 2-parent household. I was in a single parent household, and my mama was busy. She was working, trying to put food on the table, so she wasn't always there. Yeah, like she should have been.
I loved her. I could really relate to your character. That's why I was like, she was so dope. Like, I love that she was holding it down. She was just such a great representation of the young women who do grow up, in a single parent household, still being able to, be a good friend and be relatable, and be a cool support system for Laura, who did have it a little bit better per se than Max did.
Yeah. I mean, Max is a ride or die.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just for Laura, but also for Waldo. Her Waldo was her everything.
He was. Oh, yeah. We need to show that though. What is your favorite memory of just being a part of Family Matters?
You know what? That is another show that, like, I don't think I ever expected. We've been off for 21 years.
Yeah.
So to hear that people can still relate to the show, that people are so interested in seeing it, is uber amazing. But also, like, oh my God, just we grew up together. Those are my family. Like, that is like my brothers and my sisters.
Wow.
So when you ask me about my favorite memory, I think most of them probably wouldn't be between action and cut. They would have been behind the scenes of, like, Sean, who played Waldo and I dance in the Doo-Doo Brown every Friday before the show.
Yeah.
Just Darius and my craziness. That has been my husband since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
You know, the whole Tina Turner movie came out during that time, and he was Ike and I was Anna Mae, not in real life. But
Yeah, I understand.
yes. But that was our fun, you know, and just like, we really loved and enjoyed each other. My mom taught the kids how to drive her minivan.
Wow, you guys got real bonded, like, memories together. I love that.
Yes, like sleepovers, you know, weekends. So my memories weren't necessarily the show, it was the relationship with the people on the show.
That's beautiful. And it sounds like you all are still just as close now as you were then.
Yes.
So that's a beautiful thing. That really is. Do you still remember the Urkel dance?
No. But if you pay me, give me 5 minutes, I'll learn it.
We had to ask. We just had to ask. You know, that's a classic. We had to throw that out there. So Family Matters tackle some pretty big, you know, topics. This was definitely one of those shows where you had, you would come home after school, sit down, watch it, and learn a thing or two. You know, take something away from it that you could really cherish and use later on in life. Yes. You all tackle subjects from racism to gun violence to sexism. I mean, major serious issues. Absolutely. What was one of your favorite, you know, special episodes, or, you know, there are so many. Just,
I was going to say, when they stole Josie's shoes, and again, I got to cry again. I was going to say, I really did like that show.
I remember that.
Oh my God. So, okay, you're going to kill me. But I told you I don't know how to use this stuff. I just looked and I see that I'm on my podcast page instead of from my personal page. Can I hang up and get back on?
Can we do that? I think that should be a problem. We'll hang up and then we'll go live with you.
You don't have to hang up, but everybody stay here. I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna come back in like 2 seconds. Okay?
Sounds good.
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Oh, not a techie.
Same. But thank you so much. I'm glad you realized that, so you can make that switch.
I just saw it right now and I was like, oh, how did I even do that? But my bad.
It's all good. So just picking back up off of kind of where we left off, we were talking about just those special episodes, you know, just dealing with sexism, racism, the violence. Was there any special episode that stuck out to you that might have been one of your favorites?
There's a couple. Now that I had an extra minute to think about it, it's definitely when kids in Chicago were dying over tennis shoes.
Yeah, wow.
You know? So Josie got her tennis shoes taken. Trina McGee was our guest star, and she played Josie, who I happen to love Trina. Yeah. So that was a nice episode. And then I also remember Eddie, that episode where Eddie got stopped by the police. He was racially profiled, and his dad was a cop, and his own father, who was an officer, asked him, was he sure that that's what happened? And so that is a timeless classic episode that hits home, you know, no matter what generation you're from, because it's the same problem that is still happening today. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then there was a show with Christoph St. John where he played my boyfriend, so I thought, but I was just his drug runner.
See, I'm talking about some serious stuff.
Yes.
Drug running, girl.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know, there's actually a website on Instagram, and it's called Incarcerated Beauties. There's this 19-year-old beautiful young girl who is doing Fed time, and it's because she met this man. She thought this man loved her, and he had her running, you know, across drugs. So now she's got a trafficking charge because she crossed state lines, but wasn't even really aware of what was in the trunk of the car.
Oh no.
She thought she was delivering a car somewhere. And so I was like, baby, you ain't never watched Family Matters?
Oh, okay, that would have saved your life. That would have saved your life.
Yes. So we hit on issues that, you know, are generational.
Wow, that you really did. I mean, like I was saying, some serious stuff, and I love that we, were able to grow up watching that. And I can't believe that we're still dealing with a lot of that. Especially the police brutality. That is still so very present today. So thank you for being part of something so wonderful, something so classic and timeless, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
For sure. So not to shift the energy, too much. I don't want us to get sad, but I just feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the late, great Naya Rivera, because she too was a part of the Family Matters cast. And I'm just, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We send prayers and condolences to her family and to her son. I'm just wondering, did you ever have an opportunity to do any work with her during that time on Family Matters? And then if you were able to keep in touch with her later on.
I didn't have scenes with her, but I was on the set with her at the same time. And of course, as she grew and she got gorgeous, that was the baby.
Yeah.
That will forever be the baby. So it was beautiful to be able to tell her and stay in her ear as an adult, and you watch it. When you watch a baby grow, you don't let your baby go far.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And so, we're all heartbroken. Every last one of us, I think a part of our hearts and our lives shattered. We all had those prayers that something else happened, but that she would still be here and be able to go get help or I don't know. But we all just wished for a different outcome.
We definitely did. And it's so unfortunate. And like we said, we do send our deepest condolences, our prayers and our thoughts are
her baby.
Her baby, yeah.
Her baby and her parents. It's a tremendous loss. If you know anything about her, she's a water baby. The girl can swim. And she can swim good. So for her to take her son to the lake, that's something, a lot of people were like, well, why would a single mom take a baby? I would do that too.
Yeah.
And the lake is not like it's some far out place where she had to travel. Like it's pretty much the neighborhood.
Yeah, right in the backyard.
Yeah. So to go get on the lake, put your baby on the boat, I would have done that myself. I won't now by myself, but I would have thought nothing of it. And for her to not have on a life vest is not like a shock either, because when I say baby girl could swim, she's a little fish. Her and the water were one. So growing up in California, we end up being water babies.
Wow. And so does she enjoy the water? It just makes it, just that much sadder. That really does make it a little bit more sadder, because she loved the water so much, and that's pretty much how we lost her, where we lost her, I should say. Right. But yeah, we appreciate her work, and we appreciate you for just sharing that little bit about your time with her, with us.
Yeah, and she was an angel. She is an angel now, but she's sweet, loving. Yeah, her heart is just as pretty as her outsides are.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Rest in peace, Naya. Thank you again. Thank you for sharing that with us. So now, kind of want to switch gears a little bit, because again, just talking more about your character Maxine from Family Matters, I feel as though she was definitely an integral part of the show. I mean, she was Laura's ride or die, like best friend. When we saw Laura, we typically would see Maxine. But what I never understood was why your character was not part of the opening credits. I mean, like, you were literally part of the show. Is there any way you can explain that to us?
Oh, I hit stuff. I'm sorry. I was like, oh my God, where'd it go? See, what happens is when you're part of those opening credits, the show pretty much has a say on your life. Cherie Johnson was a teenager. I went to homecoming. I went to prom. I got to do all those things that every other kid on the show didn't necessarily get to do as much, because they were stuck in a contract. I was a guest star. I was not one of the stars of the show. And as a guest star, instead of being a series regular, it gave me the opportunity they came to me and they said, hey, the cast is all going to Europe. Would you like to go to Europe? And I was like, no.
Oh, wow.
Because for me, what a lot of people don't know is Family Matters was really a family matter. My uncle was one of the executive producers. My aunt was his secretary. My mother was the caterer, and my other brother was the cameraman.
Girl.
So what kind of vacation is that for a teenage girl who was trying to get it in?
Okay.
I didn't want to go on vacation with my whole family.
Right. That's not a vacation at all.
No, there's a Family Matters. So I was not on the opening credits, and it was basically like negotiation choice. You know, you get paid like a series regular, but I'm a guest star as Heather Locklear was on Melrose Place.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I just made that connection too.
Yeah, she was always a guest star. A guest star is a major opportunity, and it's very much a compliment. But awesome. It also leaves my life open to be my life.
I see. That is awesome. That really gives us a little bit more insight as to how that works, because with a lot of shows, we'll see some of our favorite characters as pretty much part of the crew, but not necessarily in that opening sequence. But now I see, you know, it's almost kind of cool, a little bit better to be a guest star, you know. Well, because of some of the advantages that
it's show business. You know what I'm saying? And if you get 22 episodes, that means you're in the opening credits. If you're on 13 to 15 episodes, you maybe just be a reoccurring role or a guest star. And for me, you go in, you negotiate, right? People negotiate for more episodes. Some people negotiate for more money. I would have them more money and less episodes. You know, like people would say, oh, I wish you were in all the scenes. Why? Why? My paycheck is the same. Whether I do 2 scenes or 10, my paycheck is the same. But if I do 10 scenes, I'm stuck there for 14, 12 hours. If I have 2, I'm at work for 4 hours and gone. Leave me alone.
Girl, you okay? Show business.
Show business. It is a business. And I'm like every other Black person. I am trying to work smart, not hard.
Not harder. We're trying to get to points faster. Yes. I'm right there with you. So on top of being a talented actress, you write, you produce. What are some projects that you've been a part of here recently?
Oh, well, I did a TV show called Girlfriends in Champagne, where I was a producer and a writer and one of the hosts. It was a talk show. And I did a movie called I Do, I Did, where I wrote, produced, and starred in it. There's a movie out right now called Saturday School. It's on Amazon Prime. And I'm starring in that. It's an awesome project with a bunch of young, smart, intelligent people. And there's also another Prime project on right now, and it's called The Perfect Wife.
The Perfect Wife.
The Perfect Wife. And I will get to say both of those films, The Perfect Wife and Saturday School, you will get to see me like you've never seen me before.
Okay, now. Okay. All right, so you're telling me I have to tune in. I have to check it out.
I think that you will enjoy it if you do.
Okay, I'm going to have to. And so will the rest of us. We're definitely going to have to check that out. So it sounds like you've been busy, honey. I love that.
I definitely have. I've been blessed.
And it is a blessing in your business to be able to stay busy for 26 years plus.
38.
Oh, 38 plus. That is incredible. I mean, do you feel like you feel that? Not the 38 years, but just, I don't know, just the fact that you've been in it for this long. You've been doing it for this long.
I didn't feel it until we went back to do the Punky Reboot. And then being on the set with a lot of the likeness from the original show being recreated, it really gave me an opportunity to sit back and just appreciate it. Because I didn't, you know, time goes so fast.
Of course.
And we don't really think about it when we're living in it. But to be able to step back and be like, oh my God, now there's kids on the set. I was the oldest one there. And to come back as an adult and be the oldest one on the show where I was a baby.
I can see that being like an aha moment, like, wow, you know?
Yeah. It really made me step back and appreciate the journey.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Cherie, you also have a podcast. It's called Cherie's World Podcast. Can you talk a little bit more about that and just some of the topics that you all tackle?
Absolutely. Cherie's World Podcast is everything Cherie's World. And Cherie's World is not just my world. It's your world. It's the people who grew up with me. you know?
Yeah.
It's all of our world. So I sit down with my friends. I haven't started calling agents and managers to get talent that I don't know yet. One day I might. But as of yet, I'm just sitting down with people who have come across my journey in the past 38 years who I really like and who I admire. And some other people just who are in the Black community doing awesome things. And when I say Black community, people are like, does that mean you don't interview white people? Of course it doesn't mean I'm not going to interview white people. That's crazy. But right now I started with us because Black is my foundation. Black is beautiful. Black is what I've lived my whole life and what I know. So, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't think so.
You don't have to make a single apology. We're starting off Black.
That's right.
That's what it is.
And that's what it is, because that's what I am. That's whom I am. And I'm proud.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of my people and the community and the relationships that I've been able to foster for the past 38 years. Some of these people are not getting the just due. Other ones have definitely had their just due. But I want you to know them the way I know them. Like Luther Campbell. You know, people know 2 Live Crew, Dirty Man, Uncle Luke. I don't know that man. I know Luther Campbell. So when he came on the show, that's what we spoke about.
Right. I love that. I love that. I love what you're doing for the community. I love that. I love that you're not necessarily trying to pull big name celebrities. You know what I mean? I like that you're keeping it relatable to who you are, dealing with people that you know that are personal to you.
Right.
So that's just even more of the reason to tune in, because I feel like we're going to get a lot more intimate conversations because these people are, you know, close to you. So I'm looking forward to it. Cherie World Podcast. I got to join. I got to be part of Cherie's world.
Thank you. We're everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. It's the official Cherie Johnson on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We are on podcasts. So you can find us everywhere.
There we go. Okay. Well, we're going to tune in. That's another one to add to the list. So I'm going to check out Cherie World's podcast. And I'm going to check out your films, especially since we're going to be seeing you in a whole nother light, another way. Like that's very intriguing. I'm going to have to see what you're talking about.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're so welcome. And this question I'm going to ask you is probably one of my favorite questions because because of where we are right now in the world's climate, our culture's community, I feel like is dealing with a lot of things. We're just very heavy right now. We're very emotional. And I feel like giving each other our flowers while we're here on Earth is a new trend that we kind of see that's been going around. It's on Facebook, but mostly Instagram is where I've seen it. And it's pretty much giving a person their flowers while they're still here with you on Earth now, not waiting until they're gone, but giving them their flowers now to say, hey, I see you, I love you, I appreciate you. If you could give one sole person their flowers, who would that person be?
Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson played my mom when I was like 9 years old, and she gave me the most amazing life lessons ever. I didn't really get them as a child, but I always remembered her words. She said, baby, you don't ever have to play a maid. You don't ever have to play nobody's mammy.
Yeah.
You don't have to play no hoe.
Okay.
And she said, and a lot of those jobs I already did for you. You do things that'll move Black women along in our journey, and always do stuff that your grandma will be proud of, and you'll be proud to show your grandma. So now, 30 years later, I would love to give her her roses and say, I love you. Thank you, because you are my journey. If there was no you, there'd be no me. And your advice has stayed on my shoulders my whole career. And I've never done anything that my grandma couldn't watch or be proud of.
Wow, Cherie.
So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I wish I could show you. I have goosebumps while you're talking. That is beautiful. And I really pray that you have that full circle moment with her. I hope that you get to bestow just a bouquet of flowers upon her and give her those exact words that you just gave us, because that was beautiful.
I need to find her.
Yeah.
I need to find her and I need to send her those roses.
Yeah, you do. That was beautiful. Cicely Tyson, what a legend. What a legend. All right, so we are almost done. We're going to wrap it up with you. But first, if we could, we have a little Family Matters trivia we like to play with you. Yeah. Just a few questions, see if we can jog your memory, see how you feel to remember. So the first question for you is, and it's multiple choice, so it'll make it a little easier.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So first question, and you guys help Cherie out there in the comments.
Yeah,
What city did the Winslows live in? Now,
girl, I got that. I'm Chi-Town.
Okay, I was gonna say, do I even need to give you these?
No. I'm Chi-Town all day.
All
Chicago
day,
has given me my whole career.
Hey,
Punky was in Chi-Town, Family Matters in Chi-Town. Okay, look, you got my confidence up. Let's go.
Okay, so you got this. Come on, baby, you got this. All right. So, where did Harriet initially work? Was it the Tribune, the police department, Rachel's Place, the Chronicle newspaper?
The Tribune.
Is that your final answer?
I think so.
I'm going to have to let you know that the answer is D, the Chronicle newspaper. Yes. But that's okay. That's okay. I see somebody else said the Tribune. That's a little tricky. It was a little tricky.
I know. I was going to say a clothing store. For some reason, I thought she worked in retail.
Girl, I was going to say Rachel's Place. Even I, struggling with that one. Now, you should know this one. Okay, question number 3. What was Waldo's full name?
Waldo Geraldo Faldo?
You got it. You got it. Yeah, Waldo Geraldo Faldo. Now, they know they tried him with that name.
Hot mess.
I cannot. Okay, number 4. Family Matters is actually a spinoff of what show?
Oh, I do know this.
What
The Perfect Strangers.
You got it, which was a fun fact for me because I didn't realize that initially. So I think that's pretty cool.
I only know that because I remember that Bill Bickley, one of our executive producers, that was one of his shows.
Got you, okay.
And I grew up with his kids.
So that's how that one stuck out for you. So final question. In the episode Farewell, Laura, who stabbed Rachel's crawfish? Oh, Rachel Crawfish. I didn't say Rachel's crawfish.
I got most points right.
I got some choices for you.
Okay.
Maxine, Carl, Laura, or Mother Winslow? Who stabbed Rachel Crawfish?
Mother Winslow.
Is that your final?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to let you know. The answer is C, your homegirl, Laura.
See,
the girl did it.
She ain't even tell me that one. I ain't even.
She was trying to protect you. She ain't want to involve you. Oh, gosh. Well, we've had so much fun with you this evening. I can't thank you enough. In my mind, you are a legend. So to be sitting down with you is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been an honor. I do see some folks in our comment section. Do you think we can take a moment just to see if anyone has any questions for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with Cherie. I saw that Trail Star 1 asked, what was it, earlier, what do you love most about acting?
I like being different characters. People would probably think I was bipolar if I didn't get to do that because I like acting crazy.
I like that too. You gotta have an outlet, some kind of
outlet.
Dal, I hope I don't mispronounce your name. I'm so sorry, but I think it's Dalkyo85 asks, what was your favorite show to work on?
Punky. I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know I was working. I was just playing and having fun.
Exactly. Punky seems like it was such a good time. It really does. It seemed like you guys just got into a bunch of hijinks and just ran around on set all day.
We did. We didn't know it was the 80s. You know what I'm saying? The 80s were just a carefree, fun, loving time. And I was at work all day with my best friend playing. Who knew?
Yeah. What a career.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Cherie, we're going to wrap it up with you. I want to tell you again, thank you. If you have not been tuning in the whole time, I want to put it out there again that, first of all, you are going to be able to catch the Punky Brewster Reboot. Punky Brewster Reboot. That's a mouthful right there. That's going to be, is there any more information you can give us about when we can look out for that?
It is going to be on the streaming site Peacock. That is all we know.
Okay.
COVID has not just messed it up for y'all, but it's messed it up for everybody else too. So when COVID gives us clarity, we'll definitely let you know. But it will be on the Peacock app.
And then you can also catch some of Cherie's latest work on Amazon Prime. She has a few things that are streaming there. I think you said it was, what was it, the New Wife?
The Perfect Wife and Saturday School. Saturday School is the new one.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll check out both of those on Prime, The Perfect Wife and Saturday School.
Thank you. And if you missed I Did, check that out too, because it's on Amazon.
And you are all over it, girl. And then, well, there's another one else. I'm sorry, I can't do that. There was one more I wanted to mention. But Cherie, I just want to thank you so much. Oh, Cherie, your podcast. That's what it was.
Oh, Cherie's World Podcast. You can check me out at cherriesworldpodcast.com, the official Cherie J on YouTube. We are on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts and everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Okay. And then you can also catch Family Matters. I believe that's on Hulu now. So you can also catch those episodes. All right, girlfriend, we're going to let you get back to your day. We can't thank you enough. You are still amazing, and we can't wait to catch you in your most latest projects, you know?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. Punky Brewster coming soon.
Hey, we can't wait. Gonna have to get my Punky Brewster shirt made.
Got you. We'll send you one.
Thank you, love. Thank you so much. You take care. You enjoy your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, you all.